Hello. Hello, everybody. Shalom. There is no plan for today's stream, VOD people. Don't tell the chatters that, okay? There is no plan. I simply have to be quick about it because I have like the Airbnb lady coming over and she needs to like take measurements for a boiler or something. So I have like maybe an hour or two that I could talk. And yeah, we'll probably just do a just chatting stream. So ignore the title. It's clickbait. I'm clickbaiting. Ooh. I'll be back in a little bit. I'm going to play some music while I finish up some food and then we'll all hang out. What's up? What's up? Today's set will be from PictoChat. So !Picto in the chat and you can get their information. And then I'll talk to you guys in a bit. And we'll only be on for a little while, so get baited. Yeah, get baited, nerds. party people. Let's see. Let me make sure everything is good on my end. Looks like it. We'll go to this window. Whoops. Hello! Hi! Today's going to be a bit of a short stream. I have the Airbnb lady coming in here to like do measurements to put a boiler in. So I'm on like the top floor of this building and I feel so wasteful. I have to keep the water running for like 5 or 10 minutes just to get warm water. The water never gets hot. There's never steam. It's just like kind of warm. And she took that complaint very seriously. And so she's going to come and take measurements for a boiler and put a boiler up here, which would be nice because cleaning dishes with cold water kind of makes me feel a little bit cringe. Like maybe I'm not really washing the dishes super duper well if the water is like so cold that it hurts my hands. So we'll see how that goes. But they should be here like within an hour or two. So we're just doing like a quick stream today. Okay, just a quick one. Books started talking. Time for ads. Well, you know how you don't get ads is by subscribing on Twitch. So if you're a subscriber, you didn't get shit. Or if you're on YouTube, you don't get anything either. You look rough. Do I? I'm sorry. It's because I'm so mad. We got to be mad, party people. What should we be mad at? I've been listening to old episodes of a podcast that I really like. So Dan Carlin is a podcaster who does a show I really like called Hardcore History. I think at this point I basically watched listened to every single hardcore history that I possibly could. Probably hundreds of hours of hardcore history. And I've listened to them all like twice. So I thought, let me go ahead and listen to his other show called Common Sense. It's more like politically focused. So I'm slowly buying like the different sets of Common Sense and listening to them while I play Minecraft. And it's so interesting hearing about things from like back when Bush was president and stuff. And one of the things, and actually kind of part of what inspired the title for today, even though we'll just be chatting, we don't have to be mad at anything, is firstly, he talks about how when he worked in media and how when he worked in broadcast, there was this increasing trend of like you have to get people upset. And the producers and stuff were encouraging him to get people riled up and upset over all sorts of political and other sorts of topics, and he got sick of it. And that's like a huge part of what the news is meant to do, at least in the States, right? Not in like Britain with the BBC or something like that, right? Because state-sponsored news or state-funded news it has a bit of a different purpose to it. Which I've heard this interesting theory that has something to do with why British comedy is so much different than our comedy and why our news is so different. Anywho, I won't get into that tangent, but it kind of got me thinking about this other thing, which is that Twitch has trained us in Twitch politics to get upset. And that's probably not news to you guys. You probably understand that we're kind of trained to get upset. But I saw it. I saw the training because when I listened to him, he said, what do you think of Lex Friedman? I think he's boring, but he gets cool people on his show, and sometimes he asks them cool questions, so I kind of like him. Anywho, when Dan mentions like how much he likes libertarian ideas, and he's like, and I went to this libertarian meeting and I talked to them and I said, come on guys, we got to do something practical. And nobody wanted the practical stuff. Nobody wants the practical stuff. They want to be pure of idea, like blah, 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 blah. I'm like, ugh, cringe. He likes libertarian shit. And then when he was like, now, I'm not saying I don't believe in climate change. But what I will say is that the science there, and he goes into the science of climate change, and that's another like, ugh moment, right? Normally, before I really got into Twitch stuff, that stuff doesn't really bother me. Like when Joe Rogan has a bad opinion about something, I still completely enjoy his shows and his commentary and his conversations. But the more time I've spent on Twitch and the more time I've spent on politics in particular, the more I notice that I have this trained aversion to people with those sorts of ideas that like immediately takes me out of the moment and causes me to have to spend like conscious effort to like cram that down so that I can listen to them. And I don't think that's a positive thing. I think it's totally the intention of the people on these platforms and the people in the media that want us to hate each other. I think that's definitely what they're going for, and it shows that they're successful at that. But I wanted to say on today's show that like, that's something we should probably learn to push down. A huge part of this Twitch channel is telling you guys how to communicate with each other, how to get along with each other, right? We've had pieces of advice that I get a bunch of emails about that are helpful for people, like not to pick fights with your friends and family members over politics when it's not important, and examining your conversations with people to see how much conflict you are putting into those conversations and how people are responding to them. If you and your friends have fun debating each other, like you're on the Destiny Politics Discord channel or whatever, and you guys have fun arguing with each other, that's fine. If everybody's having fun, everybody's having fun. It's usually normal people, and by normal people, I mean like normies that are not super educated on this stuff, that really don't enjoy that kind of conflict. It really becomes uncomfortable for them pretty quickly, especially if you engage in the way that you see on Twitch. So a lot of the advice on the channel is around not doing that necessarily, or looking out for when that's not helping you. This is probably one of those things. This aversion to people with different politics or what you would consider to be ignorant ideas or these other things, I'm not sure if that's positive most of the time. I think it really helps you or hurts your ability to understand each other. And it took a whole moment where I had to like pause and just like keep mining in my mind. And I really thought about that for a little bit. Like, holy fuck. That really throws me for a loop in a way that it didn't before I did this. That like, I like libertarianism and I hang out with libertarians and, you know, I think we need more info on this climate change stuff. Because what happened was, once I had suppressed that and I listened to him talk about the climate change thing, I understood where he was coming from. Like, if I would have just shut him down and would have chose to look at everything he said following that in a negative light, I could have probably roasted the fuck out of him forever in my brain and never listened to him again. But then I listened to him talk like with an open mind, and I'm like, okay, so I can set aside his skepticism and listen to what he's talking about in terms of policy solutions. So part of the reason that he doesn't like this is because he thinks that there's a subsect of people that want to police the lifestyles of other people. He has this larger belief about the world, that there are special interest groups and there are people in this country and in other countries who make it their purpose to kind of implement policy that is restricting the personal freedoms of other people. So, where this finally clicked for me is when he was talking about, and this is another thing that pissed me off, motorcycle helmet laws. He's not necessarily in favor of motorcycle helmet laws. And my brain just like yoinked, because you know how I am with motorcycle safety. But then I heard him out and I'm like, okay, I get where he's coming from. I think that the prescriptions that he gives are not necessarily helpful. I do think that I am of a different opinion, that I do think that we should restrict certain aspects of people's lifestyles. But when he starts talking about like obesity and the restrictions of like dietary habits of people and the reasoning that's given for that, like for dietary stuff, you're costing us money by going in the healthcare system because you get so fat that you have all these complications and that we have to pay for that in one way or the other. But that having to pay for it thing, he views that as simply an excuse to limit the personal freedoms of people within a country. And I'm like, okay, like, I will give like, that's the TLDR of it. He's much more nuanced about it. And I think that he does a better job of saying his position. It's not necessarily something I believe in, but I can be sympathetic to it. I understood him once I heard him out, and I didn't think it was fucking crazy for it. We just look at the same stuff and have different opinions about it. And I think that's really where you should land with most of your fellow countrymen, most of your fellow people, most of your friends, most of your family. Like, as long as you can understand where they're coming from on something, even if you disagree about it, that's fine. Because by understanding and respecting where that person is coming from, you can kind of continue to have a relationship with the person. If you truly think that they're dumb fucks and they're ignorant and they're awful for everybody and whatever, you're gonna very quickly like demonize them in your head, and I don't think that's like super helpful. Yeah, like I don't even think that some of you guys will agree with me on this. I don't know if I'm like saying it super well. I didn't get to prep this before the stream as like a talking point. It's just something that came into my mind as like Twitch and politics stuff kind of gets us into this sort of aversion to people of different philosophies or people with different outlooks on stuff. And that aversion pulls us out from listening to them. And if we just kind of listen with like an open heart and mind, I think we kind of get where people are coming from. We understand like how they arrived at at those conclusions, and we can picture in our head a way that we could still have a conversation with them about this stuff, even though we have wildly different interpretations on what's going on. So yeah. Does anyone know when this conversation happened? What conversation? I'm here. What am I supposed to be angry at? You should be angry at the people that want to tear apart the social fabric of your life. That's what we should all be angry about. How about that, huh? And thanks for the gift, Aldmelder. Yeah, I think we should be mad at the people that are trying to like put these wedges between us and our family and our friends and our fellow countrymen. I think that's something that we should be upset about. If 50% of our population believes in some ideas that we really don't hold, I don't know if it's helpful that we demonize them. Even if we want to change their mind, or even if we think they're wrong, it doesn't really serve us to hate them. That makes it a lot harder to convince them. It makes it a lot harder to work with them. It makes it a lot harder to do a lot of different things. It makes it harder to live with them. And when they're people you can't really get away from for certain parts of your life, like your family or your friends or a loved one, I think that's detrimental to us, and we should probably be upset about that. It's also a bit of an us versus them mentality and its consequences. Yeah, for sure. And people can pick out ideologies that are super bad and counter examples. That's fine. I would just encourage you to hear me out on that for most stuff. You know. Sorry, I didn't finish eating. I'm a hungry boy. I definitely get where you're coming from. And I agree for the most part. However is like the rich man's butt. Let's see what Dwarf has to say. Holy shit! What is this? Wow. The beast.
What it takes, bro.
Yeah, thanks. Looks like it. Thank you for the 100. Jesus Christ. I appreciate that a ton, dude. Thanks for supporting the channel. We've been getting a lot of like big donations to the channel lately. I'm super appreciative of it. I got some really nice emails that I was reading before I went live today. You know, thanks. You can support the channel in a lot of ways. You can do if you have Twitch Prime, you can Prime subscribe, and that helps me. And it's free for you because you're already paying for Prime on Amazon. You could gift people subs in the community. They really appreciate that. You can donate to me. You can subscribe on the Patreon. You can become a member on YouTube, which gives you a bunch of emotes on there. I don't know if many people know about the membership thing on YouTube. If you become a member on YouTube, I have all the sub badges done on YouTube, by the way. You get access to a bunch of emotes and stuff you could use in the YouTube chat. So just a little bit of a plug for that. But thank you. That's super helpful. All the support helps me keep this going, keep this train on the track. So let's get back to this. However, thank you again for the 100. I really do appreciate that. However, some people are so far off the deep end that it's not worth it to cultivate a relationship with them. Like, my brain goes to two places on this. Thank you, Imbao, for the sub. I agree with you that some people are so far off the deep end that it's not worth it to cultivate a relationship with them. Sure. Some people, for sure. Definitely some people, right? We could find some people that exist that's true for, so I will concede there. However, here comes my however. just because there are some people that are that far gone does not mean that we should encourage or make that the main part of our talking point when we're on a public platform like I am here, or when you're with your personal friends and family. Because I think the more that we reiterate that some people are so far gone, that some people have ideas so egregious that we can't, that some people are actively harmful to others, what happens is that's all that goes through your mind. Some people aren't worth it. Some people are too fucking crazy. Some people are too far gone. And your brain just starts to drift there when it doesn't need to, because emotions come into play. When I heard that he was a libertarian or that he was skeptical of climate science, emotions come into play. It's an emotional aversion to the person and his ideas. And in that emotional state, I could very easily just chalk him up to being one of the people that are so far off the deep end that he doesn't warrant my respect or my listening or my time. I think you have to be super careful. That's why I don't push that, because I want your default to be to listen. Because when you get in that emotional spot where you're triggered by somebody, you're always going to push in the direction of, oh, they must be one of the people that are too far gone, right? I want you to just like really push to try and understand them, because it's in those emotional moments that it will take the most energy out of you to try and understand somebody or try to reconcile these differences. And that's really when we need it. So this idea of an out with like, yeah, some people are so far off the deep end. Like, yeah, sure, some people are. Don't have that in the forefront of your mind when these opportunities present themselves, though, because you're going to find that it's much easier to write the person off. And that's where the problem comes in, I think, especially on this platform. Some people, like some of the fascistic people that are openly fascist on this website and on the internet, are probably too far gone to be trying to have conversations with them. That's probably true. But like, you're going to get like that to people that are even a little farther away from you. This is like, we did a whole video on this about questions and answers and being good faith with answers. You need to have the default mode to be good faith with them, or else you're just going to write off a lot of people, and that's going to be your instinct. So anywho, I'll continue. But should we be okay with the propagation of those ideas that we can understand their viewpoint of but think are wrong? Yes, at least in my country, that's part of the point. Is that everybody can say their ideas. If something is resonating with half of the population, I don't think you can just shut them down. Like, it's past that point when enough people are saying it. You have to be more constructive with ideas on how to, like, work against that if that's really what you want to do, or learn to compromise with that, because it's a fact of the existence of people. Like, it's so great you mentioned this, because when I listened to him about this libertarian thing, he said the exact same thing. He said, the libertarians don't get along with me because I said that we should have a little bit of socialism, because right now it's as if the country was addicted to meth. Okay? The country is addicted to meth, and that meth is socialism. Lots and lots of the kids that we're raising now are addicted to meth. They really like socialism. They like the idea of big government. They like the idea of the government supporting them. They like the idea of taxes to fund that. They're very, very addicted to it. And if we're looking at it this way, remember, this is all from a libertarian point of view. So for libertarians, this idea of big government is really fucking awful for them. Thank you for that. I'm really important. Good to have you. We're talking about politics, which I normally don't do. If all of them believe that, then you telling them, well, you know, you're going to have to cut cold turkey. No more socialism at all. None of it. No more meth at all. You're going to have to stop cold turkey. It's ignoring the facts. Like, if you vote in a candidate that says they're immediately going to try and get rid of all of Social Security and all the safety nets and cut cold turkey from what you think are like socialist programs, nobody's going to vote for it, because people are addicted. They need it. There is a physical need. People tomorrow would be fucked financially if you get rid of Social Security. People tomorrow will be fucked financially if you get rid of things like Medicare or Medicaid, right? Like, there are so many people that are actively reliant on this that it is not feasible that you can just cut them off cold turkey. There has to be methadone. there has to be some transition between where we are now with the addiction and where we want to be in terms of being cold turkey. You can't have this transition immediately, or you're just constantly going to fail. Nobody's going to vote for that. And so his whole thing with the libertarian people was like, I like where you guys are going. I think it's in line with like what the founders of the country probably would have been down for, which I like, but we disagree because you guys want to cut something cold turkey, and I think we need methadone. I think there need to be social programs and things like that to transition us into this independence that you guys want. And it's not feasible to just cut it, right? So like when I heard that, okay, that's pretty fucking reasonable. He's not crazy. He doesn't think that we're going to vote somebody in tomorrow that gets rid of every single social program. He doesn't, he also talked about this in terms of labor. Like, I'm sorry, but like on a global scale, we're going to probably need some protectionist policies if we want people in this country to be able to make a living doing certain kinds of jobs, because we could compete with Japan. We can compete with Korea. We can compete with Germany, because these are countries and governments where there is a higher cost of living. Therefore, wages need to be higher. They have social programs they need to pay into. They have a whole system that is kind of pushing for that. But you cannot compete with somebody who can live on mere dollars a day in Mexico, where they don't have these things, or in, India, where they do not have these things, where they can live on much less. And this libertarian idea of free markets and stuff does not work right now in a global sense. And we're in a global sense. You can't just pull us out of everything either. You can't go straight up isolationist. Like, the major swings that libertarian people want in policy are not practical, and they ignore the realities of both the voter base and what they believe and the practical realities of the current world, right? And I was like, okay, well, this... I get it now. He's not fucking crazy. It's all fleshed out in his mind. And I think that's, if I was born in his shoes and I was privy to libertarian ideas, that's a pretty reasonable direction to take it, right? And so I could appreciate that about him. And that's where I'm going with it. So no, I think like the same way the libertarians have to deal with people that believe in socialism or social programs and stuff, we should probably have to deal with people that are libertarians and that believe in libertarian ideals. If in a country a huge part of the population starts to lean fascist, you have to really deal with that. How are we going to fix that? How are we going to deal with that? You can't necessarily just like say that like, oh, I don't want to hear it and blah, 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 and shut your ears and say you're not going to be a part of the propagation of the ideas or something like that. Like, at some point that fire starts and you have to figure out a wise way of putting it out. Like, I think it's more complicated than some of us make it out to be. Don't worry about it. I think you did a stellar job voicing a concern many of us have noticed. It's just hard to fight against your own instincts. Yeah, for sure. I'm going to try to catch up on the chat here. But yeah, I got a friend who's super anti-vax and just told us he's uninvited from family events. I want to figure out a way to say it's not worth losing a family and to just do it without pissing him off. I mean, you could just hang out with him one-on-one. Like, I don't know. There's probably ways. That's a complicated situation, though. Why waste the energy on anger? You're young. Just count up how much life you have to waste on anger. I don't. Interesting. Well worded. Well struck. Hey, Book, I recently watched your Han/Demon Mama review from a month ago and just wanted to say it was amazing how you changed your mind at the end. Thanks. Breath of fresh air in a space where no one wants to ever admit they're wrong. Yeah, like, I don't want to shit talk because now Bullet and I are talking in private a little bit, and I might have a discussion with her in private about her performance in the most recent review, the most recent debate we looked at. But yeah, we need to be better at admitting that we're wrong, or even accepting the idea that we may be wrong on something. And while it sucked to have been wrong about that specific instance, because when you're wrong on the internet, people treat you very poorly. I do look at it like as a glass half full thing, because what it gives me is an opportunity, a hardship, a moment of like testing myself where I can show you that I live by the principles that I preach on the stream. More and more, I'm starting to like line up with Destiny on this principles thing. We have to stand by our principles. When we become rich fucking multimillionaires, we probably need to toss some back to socialist causes if that's how we made all of our money, right? And we need to demonstrate to other people on our platform how they could be a part of that, how they could be a part of real change. If I'm going to say that you need to admit when you're wrong, and I get frustrated with people that cannot handle criticism, when I handle real criticism and when I'm wrong, I need to immediately admit when I'm wrong and give in on that, right? So like, it's a glass half full thing, in my opinion. I like being able to demonstrate that, like, I follow this shit. I'm not just saying it. Look at how much easier it is when you just admit that you were wrong, right? Sure, people will make fun of you. Sure, Demon Mama will make fun of me. Sure, all of the DGG subreddit will make fun of me. And they may continue making fun of me and referencing it for, like, time eternal. But you know what? I did the right thing there, and I'm going to stick by it. That's probably what we should do. We should change our mind when we're incorrect about something. Ben Shapiro actually admitted that division was his business model. Well, that's not good, dude. You're forgetting how much fun it is to get pissed off at people, though. I feel like you're infringing on my God-given right to feel unhealthy levels of outrage all the time. No, that's what the title of the stream was, dude. It seems like the more radical they get, the less I want to listen to them, which in turn makes them more radical. So who's going to bite the bullet? I mean, you biting the bullet doesn't take you much of anything, dude. I don't know. Like, in most cases, like, it's not like they're slipping you the punch and they're in a cult and it's got poison in it and they're like, come on, be respectful of my ideas and beliefs. Like, you know, it's rarely going to hurt you at all to, like, give them a listen or to try and understand where they're coming from. And I understand if the more radical they get, the less you want to listen to them. Nobody's forcing you to listen to them. I just mean that when you find that aversion in people you otherwise like me and Dan Carlin, like, it's good to inspect that and see if that's necessary. I'm going to ignore anything that doesn't have an @ to me, so I'm just going to scroll down because I'm way behind on the chat. You're on the ascendancy. 2 months ago, tears, and then things get better. Every time I cry, I get a little bit stronger. Yeah, definitely I agree. Good to hear. Good to hear, Dwarf. I hope I addressed that properly. Who are you talking about? Dan Carlin. I like Dan Carlin. Booksmarts is mad at the fish stick people. Who are the fish stick people? Good to see you, IRI, by the way. Do you include Destiny in the people pushing everyone apart? Everybody does it, dude. Even I do it sometimes. Like, yeah, be mad at Destiny. Be mad at me. Be mad at all sorts of people.
Hey, Booksmarts.
Hi. I don't know. Oh, we had Raiders. I'm so sorry. Oh, that's why I was here. Hi, Raid people. Have you ever heard the 3 worlds theory, as I learned about through my trade unionism? The world we want, the world we were told we want, versus the real world. Just consider that with conversations, what you want to get across, what your audience was, and how much that is affected by reality. Yeah. That's a good paradigm to look at it through, right? Like, let's apply that to this, right? So the world we want. I want a world where we can all just talk to each other, level with each other, not be bullshitted by, like, sources that we just looked up to prove what we think we believe. Just tell people, how did you arrive at your conclusion? Where is it coming from? Why is it coming from there? And how open are you to changing your mind? Just like giving people an accurate audit of what's going on with you and being forward in conversations. That's the world I want. The world we're told we want is one where, like, the good ideas from our perspective always prevail, and that somehow, whether rhetorically or optically or logically or otherwise, we subjugate every other person to believe in the ideas that we think are best through conversation and dialogue. I think that's the world that I'm told that I want for this, that you get so good at communicating your ideas that everybody kind of has to bend the knee to them. That's like kind of the world that I feel like we're in, where you want to learn about communication as a tool to kind of subjugate other people to the ideas that you believe in and to convince them over to whatever opinion you have that you think is much better than theirs. And then there's the real world. In the real world, people are awful at communication at all levels, and they're super emotional, and they think much more highly of their abilities than is actually demonstrated through conversation, and they fail to admit their faults and things like this. So, like, the way that I deal with, like, the real world thing is to show you where you might have those faults by demonstrating them myself on stream when they come up, or using examples, or being kind to people who have opinions that I think are nasty, like the people making fun of Doe. I watched a few streamers react to my Doe harassment video, and some of them were like, "Oh my God, I can't believe he's saying that, like." The way he's framing this here is as if, like, these people harassing her were doing so because of the actions of the deer. And I can't get behind that. I can't believe he's saying this. Like, okay, but who am I talking to? You who are listening as a streamer are already on my side about this. Who am I talking to? I'm talking to people that are giving me the justification that Doe says stupid things or inserts themselves into drama and into other situations, and that by inserting themselves into that situation, they are signing up for whatever is coming their way, including some harassment, right? So to deal with those people, I need to speak at their level with the things they believe in, right? I need to come to terms with the reality of the situation and work towards my ideal a little bit better. And to do that, I need to confront what they think are justifications for the behavior. And this is the same thing with like libertarians. Like, why do the libertarians believe in the libertarian shit? Is it because of something the founding fathers said? Is it because of the way the Constitution is written? Is it because, like, why? Why is that? You have to figure out the why, and then you have to work with them from where they are to where you'd like them to be, or to figure out why they can't move to where you want them to be, right? And then you keep workshopping it. Or you agree to disagree and you don't touch it anymore. But yeah, like I think you need to understand where people are coming from and speak at that level. And some people were upset that I did that in the Doe harassment video, but like, those aren't my beliefs. Like, this is the way that people are talking, and that's what I'm dealing with. You know. So let me go ahead and catch up here. Thank you for the 3,000 bitty boys, Commodore Chris. Good God, man. Good God. Thank you. Let me scroll all the way down. Which political ideology is associated with weed in this case? Probably libertarians. Oh my God. Dan Carlin had such an interesting common sense video about drugs and alcohol. And his idea, and I really like it, is that we aren't outlawing drugs. We're outlawing becoming inebriated. Like, this is something that I thought on my own, but he puts into words really, really well, is like, we don't want people to be inebriated. You're able to drink. You don't have a right to get drunk. Cops can fucking get you in trouble for being drunk all they want. They could walk into bars while you're drunk and fucking arrest you for being drunk and indecent and whatever. You have a right to drink. You do not have a right to be drunk. And that's why drugs in particular were fought against so hard, is because drugs are meant to, like, at least this is what people believed in the past more so than they do now, to become inebriated. And it's this fight against inebriation. And that's even kind of the underpinning of that anti-alcoholism movement that started prohibition and stuff. I love being wrong, something new to learn, and when it's a big thing, it allows for tons of old ideas to get refreshed with new understanding. Yeah, it also, I'm gonna be honest, very selfish. It builds a lot of rapport with people. It's a really good character building and defining moment, I find. Like, when I dig down with my friends about, like, maybe part of why they respect me or are okay with coming to me with ideas, it's because I admit when I'm wrong on stuff, right? Like, it has so many other benefits besides just, like, good conversations. It's good for you to do it. Have you read Zen and the Art of Motorcycle? Yeah, I did. I don't have any thoughts on it. Not only admit when you're wrong, that's hard to do in real life, but learn to temper their reactions. It's a lot harder to admit you're wrong after you doubled and tripled down and have convinced your fan base you're right. Yeah, I think it's much harder for streamers. Streamer problems. It's much harder for streamers than it is for real life people, which is why I tell real life people all the time, part of the reason why your favorite streamer will not admit they are wrong is because it's much more difficult for them to than it is for you to, because of this fan base thing, because of there are hours and hours and hours of footage of you vehemently defending the other position that you're now admitting you're wrong on, right? There's a lot more backing that, right? So it's much easier for you guys to do it, so you really should do it more. If I can do it in this position, you could probably do it in your position, right? Like I still read Reddit posts talking about how much I'm a dumb fuck and how people stop listening to me after the Demon Mama take, right? Like, this still happens, and after the Bob 7 take, right? Like, I still get this stuff, but you're not going to have that in your real life. Too many people entering these conversations have preconceived ideas of what the other person thinks rather than actually trying to understand what they think. Yeah, that's the other thing. When you're saying that people are so far gone off the deep end and they're radical and whatever, like, yeah, but where is that conclusion coming from? Is it a bunch of reflection on conversations with them and stuff? Because I think for a lot of people, that's not where that comes from. They're saying that stuff because they have the preconceived notion of what that ideology is about and stuff. And I think that's part of the problem. I will never agree with Booksmarts because he's too cool. Reasonable. Yeah, I said thank you for the 3,000. First time catching you live. Well, I'm happy to have you, Drew. Have you ever encountered someone who is very obviously bad faith, but you can't say that out loud because it'll jeopardize what little opportunity for conversation there is with them? Yeah. And generally my approach is to just, okay, let's put a rule of law down. If you do this thing that I'm pretty sure you're going to do, this conversation is over, right? I did that in the President Sunday conversation. I did that in the Bob 7 conversation. I laid down that rule and got close to it with the Lauren Southern conversation. Yeah. I think having a personal anecdote of choosing to go through the uncomfortable process of correcting yourself is great lubricant for a combo with others about doing it themselves too. Yeah, for sure. It's an easy thing to have in your mind about how to do it, right? It's a good example for people, and definitely I agree. Glad to see you're doing well. Haven't been here for a long time. Well, happy to have you back, Koala. Happy to have you back. We use the three-world theory on pay negotiations as you have to equate what is reasonable, what the union members want, and the reality of the economy. Interesting. That makes sense to me. Jacob says, hey, he says this as I finish a tequila bottle. Oh, okay. I'd love to know your opinion on sex work becoming more normalized and legalized in the United States. I can't stand it. The moral degeneracy of this country and this world is going to be our ultimate downfall, and sex workers are going to be the people on the front lines. It's just a level of moral degeneracy that I cannot stand. No, I'm just kidding. No, I don't really mind. It's whatever, dude. My understanding is that, like, the more that we support sex workers and make stuff like that legal, the more legal protections they're gonna have, right? I think there's some really good NPR podcasts about this where they're talking with some different sex workers that have worked both in a legal capacity and in an illegal capacity, and like you don't feel comfortable going to the police about crimes that are committed against you. Like, I think there's probably a lot of positives there, but until the nation reaches a tipping point, or the culture reaches a tipping point where they're like super duper in favor of it, like I guess I don't know. It's a difficult situation. Also, you're a really good speaker. I'm happy to hear that. I hope that wasn't too optically bad. Holy shit, you put my dislike of weed in a way I never could. Interesting. Streamers also seem to have a problem handling private matters in private. Yeah, I guess. I can't say that that's entirely true because I've solved a lot of issues with other streamers in private. It's a two-way street. Streamer people, I'm talking to you. It's a two-way street, bitches, and you gotta fucking reach out. We can shit on somebody for not allowing that line of communication behind the scenes. Example, and I love you, you're a friend of mine, but Dylan Burns with the Prime Kai's thing. Prime Kai reaches out, wants to talk to him behind the scenes, and he sends him a fucking meme. It blocks him. Like, okay, well, in that case, we know enough to know Dylan Burns made it impossible to discuss that in private. Sometimes that happens. Don't fucking do that, right? Because it's much better if we solve these things, or at least talk about them at first in private and then go public with them, right? But I don't think that's a lot of the time the case. Like most recently with BX Bullet, I got to talk to BX Bullet in private, like almost immediately after doing the stream, and we're chill with each other, right? So like, scathing review, lots of criticism in there. I still disagree with their own stuff, but like, you can have private communications with all these streamer people. It is a two-way street. Both of you have to be down for that, and both of you have to be mature enough to maintain that conversation, that line of communication, right? I do this all the time with Wicked Supreme. We disagree about tons of shit. You guys just wouldn't know about it because we always talk about it in private, right? Like, so, you know, like, I think streamers can do this, but it's a two-way street. You have to be super duper willing. And I think the more willingness the other side sees from you, the more willing they are to meet you halfway. But like, if you barely give like a little bit and then they like completely reject it or barely give a little bit, you're not having that connection there. You have to be like fully upfront and really go for it, and then that'll encourage the other side to do it. So yep, streamers are afraid of their arguments that can change their beliefs in front of their audience. It's the slab of concrete they stand in with one of their legs. Good analogy, because that's my analogy. Yeah, I guess. And sometimes their livelihood's built on it. That's when it fucking sucks, dude, is when your livelihood is built on the idea. Like, you cannot entertain ideas that socialism is bad or whatever if you are a socialist making money as a socialist. You cannot admit that, like, Republican stuff or conservative talking points are bad when you make all of your money as a conservative commentator with a very conservative audience, right? And that's when people get stuck, is they build this web around them to catch the insects that live where they live, to catch the conservatives, to catch the socialists, whatever. But then when danger comes, when a flood comes or something like that, they just drown in their nest of web because they can't get out of it. They're stuck. Like, sure, they're happy and they have access to food and stuff, but if there's a ground shaking event, they can't just leave that web. They're kind of stuck there. And that's the unfortunate thing, is you build this infrastructure around you and a personality and a set of viewpoints to like capture different people in the audience. But then you're very, very afraid when something threatens that, because it threatens your very livelihood. Whereas if they took even 20% of Booksmarts and incorporated that in their web, there would be enough flexibility there to where they could just change. Like, if you were always like Dan Carlin and the libertarian thing, I believe in libertarian stuff. I think that's chill, but I'm always restricting that by what the voters want. I'm not going to pick something that people won't vote for. I'm not going to advocate for things I don't think are practical. And that's a very good limiting factor that makes you flexible enough to consider other things. And then part two, you have to be good enough and you have to have this line of communication ready with your viewer base to communicate to them when you guys disagree, which he had to do in that video. So in response to that podcast where he talked about the arguments he has with libertarian people, he's like, all right, I had a lot of emails and feedback on the bulletin board. I'm very thankful for that. But you guys were very upset. You told me, Dan, come on, we need to cut cold turkey. We need to do this, we need to do that. This is not ideologically pure and blah, blah, blah. And then he walked them through it. He talked with them. He had a heart-to-heart with those viewers, those listeners, to explain to them where they were at, their criticisms, and where he was at. And if that couldn't be reconciled, that's fine. We disagree on this one topic, but like, that's another thing that I don't think streamers do very well with their audience, right? Even me. This applies to me too. When you guys say some dumb shit in my chat that is completely antithetical to what I'm trying to put forward, I get mad. I'll explain it one time and then I put shenanigans on it. No more talking about it. Like, you know, I can explain it one time, but I'm not in the business of repeating myself. So I'll say it the one time and then we'll move on, right? And there's my compromise there, because I don't want you to steal the whole stream with your criticism and stuff. But like, there's a balance there. You have to have a habitual like connection with your audience to discuss that stuff. And if that infrastructure doesn't exist, then you're going to have an even harder time changing your mind or moving back on viewpoints, because you don't have a means of communicating to your audience when you're incorrect, or when there needs to be a change in what you guys are believing in. Sorry, I got to kill a bug. Oh my God, you literally said that with such a straight face. Yeah. Book's ability is say shit like that with a straight face and cadence. Yeah, bro. Hey, Book, you look good today. Somebody said I look disheveled. Maybe I do, bro, but somebody else said I look disheveled today. I know a lot of lawyers and people in the medical field who do sex work on the side, which makes a lot of people angry in their life for some reason. Yeah, lots of people do be getting mad about sex work. I'm eating raviolis that I cooked. Booksmarts, fan of private language, huh? Yeah, definitely. I think having conversations in private with other streamers is definitely based, because I don't have an audience. It's so easy. I can like, when I'm talking with Destiny and I'm like, I always had to be so careful about concessions and stuff with him because his audience takes it one way, my audience takes it one way. If I say something and I concede on something that is antithetical to what I said on stream, I'm spineless. You know, like there's a lot of considerations to make. When I'm in private, I don't have to think about any of that shit. I can literally just sit there and be a good listener for half of the conversation, hear them out, make them feel heard, take notes on everything they say, and then in the last 3/4 or last half of the conversation, I can like then communicate what I want because I understand them, right? And like I can't do that as well on stream, especially depending on the person. But in private, like if Bullet is telling me like, you know, I don't like they yelled at me or this and that, like I could just be like, yeah, for sure. It's not cool that he yelled at you. Like that's not helpful. That's not helping anybody. That's going to make you feel this way and that way for sure. Like, and I can give all these concessions and because there's no audience there, I can just like be real with that person, be a human with that person for a moment, make them feel heard. And then we get into if there's disagreements and if they even care for that. If they just want to be heard, then I'll be an ear for them, dude. I'll just listen to them, you know, like, I think it's all about relationships, and I'm happy to build relationships with streamers in private. Even streamers who have asked me never talk about me on stream, I still communicate with them offline, and I can't talk about it, but like you may be surprised at the people that I'm talking to in private and giving advice to, because that's how it is, dude. I'm very approachable. I think a lot of the people don't learn to be comfortable directly confronting someone without getting heated about it. Yeah, or they start to become that way, right? Like, I feel like Vosh at first, like earlier on, was better at confronting people. And now he just kind of shuts down, especially when he's proven wrong about something or he can't argue it. Like, he just shuts down, and it's sad to see. So maybe there is something to that. Oh, Sydney, if you're still in here, I saw your mention about me burping and stuff. Now it makes me think, am I getting my hard-earned ad? Nah, I'm not going to give you guys an ad. That's just memes. I am usually a VO Megalol deer, and watching you in real time is cool and all, but do you think you could talk at 1.5x so you sound the way you're supposed to? The technology is behind. I would if I could, believe me. Then I could get through these things much, much quicker. I'm outraged. Why are we outraged? We're outraged because people don't communicate well. That's why we're outraged. The man and the media is trying to get us to hate each other. I said you looked rough compared to your all-time high. And when you get mentally activated, that rough started to melt away. For what it's worth, it was more saying, get a bit more sleep. Whatever, Don. Whatever, Don. You think this makes it better, but it doesn't. You were all good until the get more sleep comment, dude. Floral shirt plus undone top buttons plus stubble equals vacation smarts. Yeah, bro. I'm on my vacation, dude. Yesterday, I basically did no work. I played Minecraft. I listened to my podcast. I took like a legitimate day off. Best fucking feeling ever, dude. I need more days off. I always think that I don't because I'm stressed about work and I want to get it all done, but it's never done. The work has reached the point where I could legitimately, from the moment I wake up till the moment I go to bed, work, and I will still not be anywhere close to being done with everything. So I just need to accept that I have to take entire days off where I do not touch any of it, right? And I think Sunday, God's Day, is going to be that day for me more often, because I need it, dude. I need it really bad. Vosh's whole shtick is being smugly correct, so he can't admit to being wrong unless it's 100% clear he messed up. Huh, interesting. I'm outraged because my neighbor's dog has been barking since 2 a.m. Askers? Were you born in the U.S.? Yeah. Vouch is adjusting to the Adderall pretty well, but yeah, there is some... Stop it with this Adderall shit! I don't like this as a meme. I really don't. I don't like that at all. Like, stop. What are you eating? I'm hungry. Well, you know who else be hungry? Book, you had the best streams. Probably I haven't seen all of every stream, so I can't say for certain, but yeah. Are you high? You smoking jazz cabbage, bro? Are you looping? And it went to just get more sleep. Yeah. I'm looking out for your health, buddy. You're just not looking well. You have a podcast? No. I should make one. Most of the people listen to the VODs like a podcast anyways. Like, I don't know if it was in chat or... No, it wasn't. It was in the YouTube comments. So the BX Bullet versus Destiny review was like 8 hours long. And when I looked at the comments section, some people were like, 8 hours? How's anybody supposed to watch this? And there were a bunch of people who were like, I put them on in the background while I'm like doing laundry or something, or I listen to this like I listen to a podcast. I listen to this when I'm at work. Most people listen to this like a podcast anyways. So I've been thinking maybe I could do a podcast, dude. Maybe I could. And like edit it and put in music and stuff like that. I actually have a really fun idea that I hope that I can get done this week. It takes effort. It involves the Stream Deck, and it should be real fucking fun. I look forward to planning it out, but it takes meticulous work. So I hope I can do it. It involves call-ins, okay? It involves call-ins. Super chat, 5 Great British Pounds. Caring about your health deserves a middle finger writing sponsorship. Winky face heart. Hashtag biatch. Nice. Math has already proven who asked. Oh, okay. I didn't read that proof. How do you talk with people who just repeat that you aren't listening, even if you repeat what they said? My sister was a druggie, and some of the Twitch streamers online remind me of her. Well, if they're on drugs, that's kind of outside of your control, right? So being drugged out and thinking people aren't listening is not necessarily your fault. That is the drugs' fault. So if you enter into a conversation with them, that's something that is in the mix that you are kind of accepting when you talk with them. Let's hear again what Donkey said. Rude guy.
Caring about your health deserves a middle finger writing sponsorship. #biatch.
Yeah. Oh, I got some work requests. That'll be good for me. It's a nice reprieve from doing streams. I got a couple of requests to review some YouTube scripts and do some tutoring about essays. So I'll put this out there because I don't plug it very much. If you do !work, that'll give you a Notion document in my email. You could reach out and ask if you need tutoring, you want advice, you're working on a script that you want looked over, any of that kind of stuff. You could hire me for that. I've had at least like maybe 3 or 4 different emails about that, which is super dope. I can't wait to help those people. It's really rewarding. It's cool being on stream and getting donations and stuff, but I do like the clarity that's involved with like being commissioned to help on something. And I don't really care what the project is for the most part. Like if you need help with your philosophy paper at school and you want someone to advise you on it, I can help you with that. You are doing a psychology research paper and you want somebody to look over the language, I can do that for you. You have a communication related issue that you have where you like have to talk to a bunch of people or solve some disagreement, you want advice about it, I can help you with that. All sorts of stuff. So I'm a podcast vodder when I'm not here for the stream. Good. I mean, at least you listen even when you don't make it live. We're just worried about your well-being, keeping you from death's door. Well, I'm in Romania, so death probably lives a couple of blocks down from me. I might run into him when I get coffee. There's a really good Dr. K video with him talking about a hardcore right-leaning guy, and he actually builds rapport with the guy. It was pretty amazing to watch and gave me a lot of hope for being able to change people's minds through understanding him. It's always the first step, dude. It's like if you're on the phone with somebody and they're lost. What's the first step? The first step isn't explaining where you live and how to get there. The first step is ask them, where are you? What's around you? Do you know how to get from here to here to here? Okay, like, do you have a car? Do you have a bicycle? Are you walking? You have to figure out, like, where they are, what are the next steps, and how quickly can they get there? When have you ever changed your mind before? About what? Why? What do you believe now? Why do you believe that? How did you come onto these beliefs, right? What have you been in the past? How did you make those transitions? You have to learn about their history and why they believe what they believe before you can give them any sort of prescription that's going to lead them in a direction you think is productive, right? And like, I think that there are baby steps too. A libertarian person that is completely about the ideology and only believes in it like purely can make the next step to like where Dan Carlin is at with like, okay, but if we take into account that we live in a democracy and people have to vote for stuff and the realities of people reliant on this stuff, what's our next step, right? And to get them to think more practically, that's like a step in the right direction. It's not a step that's going to lead them to socialism. Sometimes you guys have to realize, like, if they need to get from like where they are to somewhere else, it's not always going to be that they end up where you are. It's going to be that they end up in a right direction for them. And sometimes, like, if they're broken down on the side of the road and you need to go help them, sometimes it's better they go 5 miles further away from you and you have to drive 5 more miles to go pick them up than it is for them to go 20 miles closer to you because they're on foot. Like, okay, so you're broke down here. The nearest gas station is 5 miles further away. I don't want to have to fucking drive 5 miles further away. That sucks for me. Well, sucks for you does not suck for them. They're on foot. There's no way they're walking fucking 20 miles to get to here. Have them go to that gas station because from there you can go pick them up and you know where they are and they can make it there. You have to be reasonable with people, right? You have to be reasonable. Maybe you're not going to flip a libertarian to believe in socialism, but if you get them to deal with the current like climate and people that are reliant on social programs and to get them to realize this or be empathetic, like that's positive. Like, don't always go for a complete flip in people's ideologies. Like sometimes even going deeper into their own ideology could be better for everybody on the whole. Like, you know, but people don't like this because they're about their ideology. They're not about people. I'm about people. I'm about helping people, and I'm about what's good for people. And sometimes what's good for people is not good for my ideology. Sometimes what's good for people is not good for what I want politically. And I'm okay with making that trade-off, but a lot of people are not. Like with the Lauren Southern thing. People get so mad at me. She represents this. She represents that. Like, Kate, but like, what's good for her and what's good for everybody else, you have to realize that these things have to line up. Like, I don't know, dude. If only there was a handsome and thoughtful streamer you had great chemistry with who could be your co-host. If only there was a perfect name for it. Yeah, I know. Well, the ball is in Supreme's court. We've already talked about this. It's an Arcade impression contest, isn't it? Wait, what are you talking about, bro? Book, I love you, man. But, oh, that but. Sometimes you seem a little out of touch when talking about conversations. Okay. I wish you could explain that, but you can't because you're wrong. Do you have an editor, Mr. Booksmart, so you can have those 8-hour vids and less time for peeps? We do that all the time, Jay. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. We do that all the time. We've done that with like every single one of the last few reviews. Like, I don't know, bro. Yeah, we're working on that. It takes a while to put them out. But yeah, we're doing that. If you're not watching them, you're part of the problem. Part of the problem is it's difficult to want to edit the video down when the VOD gets like 17,000 views or whatever, and the edited version gets 2, you know? Sometimes it can be a difficult proposition. Do you think BX Bullet was being bad faith in the Destiny conversation? I cannot answer that question. I would be in big trouble, and I don't want to be in big trouble. Okay? That's all I'm saying. Love you, bud, but just letting you know that your stream title is on the cringe side of things. Well, you know, there's 2 sides to everything, and sometimes you're going to land a little bit in the cringe side. Can you give examples? Oh, you are. Yeah, I gave examples. I'm the example master. Are you willing to work with ESL student? Yeah, of course. I love my ESL people, dude. I love them a lot. I defended ESL people on my other stream because people were fucking making fun of ESL people. I hate that shit. Can you write my Tinder bio? Maybe. I don't know how much that would help you. I commissioned you a few months back. I didn't give you an update assuming you didn't care, but happy to draft something up if that is something that is of value to you. Yeah, of course. Can you prove that there is an inherent truth and therefore that nope, I don't deal with that. It smells like philosophy. I'm just going to walk out of that comment right there. The first step is to call them a fascist. Duh. Well, I don't think so. Reasonable. Surely you jest, sir. Surely you jest. I don't jest. You may not get to them. You may not get them to be commies, but you may be able to trick them out of the pedophilia. Exactly. Exactly. You're Hassan's favorite prostitute, so you're probably familiar with both of these topics. But yeah, exactly. It's got to be steps in the right direction. The Booksmarts podcast with lo-fi music in the background the whole time. Yeah, maybe. Maybe. I would love to do one with I'm Really Important. If I'm Really Important's still in here, I've talked to him before. I would love to do one. I would love to do where we talk about politics or something. That would be really fun. Book, I love you, but you're absolutely amazing. Never change. Oh, okay. That was not a bad but. I think the book is bad faith 200% of the time. Wow. That doesn't even make sense. We're all cringe in the eyes of the Lord. Well, that's nice. That's nice. He is not here, Sag. That's okay. He's got better things to do. I think it depends on how wide a net you are willing to cast. All people agree what good is, but no, they don't. But the steps required to reach it. I don't think everybody agrees on what good is, so no. And philosophers would really have a bone to pick with that statement. I dare you to walk into a philosophy department of some school somewhere and go, come on, guys. All people agree on what good is, just not the steps required to reach it. And we'll see how many you fucking trigger. At Booksmarts, the correct way to win people over is to call them fash, then lib, and never engage in anything they actually say. Yeah, maybe that's a better way to approach life. Just you never have the conversations because you call everybody fascists and libs. IRI plus Booksmarts podcast would be more effective than Ambien. Oh my god. What a mean comment. Okay, I won't do it. Bye, Bells. I think Booksmart seems like a chill dude. Yeah, I'm chiller than Ambien, motherfucker. Book, why you gotta bully philosophy people? It's not even bullying, dude. It's for real. It's for real. They would get mad, bro. I'm empathetic to philosophy people. I understand how they would react. I got a good model of philosophy people in my head. Pretty accurate. Booksmarts, isn't that true? Agree on the good at a base level? I won't argue with you. I'm not a philosopher, nor am I a debate bro. So you're not getting that out of me. Good? That's easy to define. Good is anything that is moral. Okay. Let's not have this conversation. You guys are going to trigger poor old Senpai Chow in the chat, dude. He's starting to pop a fucking blood vessel, dude. He's getting mad. He's getting big mad. The secret is that he's always mad. I'm calling Shenanigans on discussions of what is good. Shenanigans, no more. Or you'll be timed out. We need to get a Shenanigans emote. I'm thinking like a little pot of gold with an S on it or something, but I'm open to better ideas. We need a Shenanigans emote though for sure. I was also thinking maybe like the butt of like a handgun, but I think Twitch would not allow it. I need something, dude. I love you, man, but I also love truly independent clauses. Uh-oh. How do you deal with work when you're feeling depressed? I find myself shutting down, not being able to work, and I don't know how to deal with it. Well, I'm lucky because I got a job that's fucking bitching, and I have people that are super duper nice to me about it. So that's where I go, dude. I'm lucky. I'm like the rich guy that has cocaine. I just got cocaine. I just cocained it up. I just go to my email with all of the emails that are super nice to be marked, and I just go, oh, I'm God. I'm the best. Vosh thinks he's God. I'm God. I don't know. I just get high on people being nice to me. So that's where I go when I'm feeling depressed with the work, is like I go and read really nice emails and Twitter DMs and stuff. So I don't know. When I had normal jobs, this was much harder to deal with. It's much easier now because I have a bunch of people being positive. I think maybe you should pick work that does that for you if you get depressed a lot, though. That would be my advice to past me. That's why I always did tutoring, because like essay stuff, you can get very doomer about essay stuff really, really quickly, right? You can imagine the emptiness in such a job. But when I would do tutoring, I would just think about all the kids I was able to help with tutoring, and how like every hour of ghostwriting or essay writing work that I take buys me back like 3 to 4 hours of discounted like tutoring that I can do. And so I just thought that like the more essay writing work that I do, the more my time is freed up to where I can take on like low income students to do tutoring with. Because I was a dope fucking tutor. I was a real good fucking tutor, and I would just charge as little as I possibly could. And then I would just I would take a bunch of like students from the area that could not afford like a proper tutor. Like a math tutor can be, or like even worse, if you want to do the SATs, an SAT tutor is going to cost you like over $100 an hour to get. So like that's super cost prohibitive, and it shouldn't be, because the SAT is a test where if you learn how to take it, you can score really, really well on it. You can learn how to take the SAT. And if the only thing standing between you and learning how to take the SAT is a tutor that costs $120 an hour, then it's a pay to win test. And I hated that. So like, I would take on kids that like really cared and they wanted to like get into a good college and their grades were good. And I would be like, all right, if your kid has good grades, I'll do it for fucking 20 an hour. And you just, at minimum, you need to pay for like 3 hours of this because I need to explain everything. And then I would just teach them everything I knew about the SAT and give them practice tests. And like, then we would do like little Skype calls, and they would take the test at home and I would see how they do, and they would send in their essays. So like, I don't know. You have to look for an angle that pulls you out of the depression. It's not some like easy solution to everything. You have to look at how in your position can you do something that makes you feel good about what you're doing. So for me in essay writing, it was do tutoring and use what I learned in essay writing to be a better tutor. Take every essay writing opportunity to look into things that will make me a better tutor. So like, for a long time when I was doing psych stuff, like psych grad work, I would look into like, how does memory work? I would take up education projects and look at what are the best teaching styles. Like I would look up what are the best study methods, and like I would take every opportunity I had in ghostwriting when I was able to pick a topic to better myself for tutoring and to better myself for like dealing with people in my life and conflict resolution and stuff like that. So you have to figure out the angle with your job to like do good and to feel good about the good that you're doing. Which is also, again, if you guys ever wonder why I get triggered about people that project onto me what it was like when I wrote papers, like, you were one of those people working at a fucking essay mill. You're completely unethical and blah, blah, blah. First of all, bitch, I didn't work for a fucking essay mill. I was my own fucking mill. Let's be fucking real here. I pumped out papers that were, for the most part, all written by my hand. So, like, let's set that aside for a fucking second, because you're already wrong. You've already stepped in shit. Second of all, you don't know how I ran that fucking business. You don't know the quality of the papers that I put out. You don't know the grades that I got. You don't know the marks from professors I got. Fuck you and your fucking projection. Like, just because there's some fucking Chinese company out there, sorry, I'm going to lose social credit for this one, that pumps out bullshit fucking papers that don't pass or that sound like they're written by some fucking, pardon me, ESL student who has never made it past like an undergrad degree, does not mean that that's what I was pumping out when I was doing that kind of work. Like, people really project shit onto that. It pisses me off. It pisses me off to no end, dude. I fucking hate it.
I feel that you would have put in a lot of work to make sure people get A's.
Yeah, like, because if I don't get A's, then I don't get clients. I don't get return people. Like, writing a graduate paper a lot of the time is a multi-week process. If at any point I give them a draft or edits that don't meet what was asked of me, I don't get asked back, you know? Like, you don't make a living doing that by scamming people. And that's what I would always tell people in their first call with me. Like, I'm in it to make a relationship with you to where I can help you whenever you need it. You have my phone in your phone book, and I'm a contact for you, dude. That's what I want. And if I want that kind of relationship, I cannot scam you. I understand you've been scammed by other people in the past, but anytime you text me, you can reach me. This job is my life, and this is what I do. I'm an essay writer every fucking day. Like, every hour that I'm awake, this is what I'm dedicated to, you know? And that's how it is with streaming too. It's just, I don't finish stuff with streaming. Essay stuff you get done. There is no end to my current work with streaming. So it's like an open-ended thing, and that's what trips me out. That's why I need days off and stuff now, because it never stops. You're looking good. Thank you. A wiggling no finger as an animated emote. Oh, maybe. What's the name of that place you go up the street with all this funny shit on the walls? How about the Trainwreck's face when he dropped the N-bomb on street? That was fucking funny, dude. Johnny Chimpo emote. Oh, that would be good. I do art. Let me know. I can help. Yeah, we'll send something in. Send me a suggestion on my email, booksmarts.twitch@gmail.com. Also, philosophy is Ooh, I'm gonna move past that. Don't let Senpai Chow hear that, dude. He's gonna beat your ass. I started to realize everything I debate over in chat, one way or the other, ends up being shenanigans. Yep. So don't debate. I love you, but I'm a total loser. Please help. Oh wait, I just gotta watch more Vosh. Okay, well enjoy Vosh. I thought a restaurant with goofy stuff on the walls with the mozzarella sticks was the only image acceptable for shenanigans. Yeah, but I don't think people will understand that. That's the problem that I have. And it's not cute. Like, there's no way to do that very tiny that looks good. People underestimate the value of just putting things out there. You don't need that many compliments from strangers to feel really good for a long time. Yeah. Like, I got an email today that made me cry. I cry like a little bitch, dude. I was crying because this person had some kind of chronic illness that they got. They were in a ton of pain. And they hit a really, really low point in their life. A really, really low point. And they found the stream and they would just put it on. They listened to all the VODs. They just put it on while they laid in bed and while they were in pain. And they're getting better now, and they're able to walk around and go do normal stuff. And they heard me mention on the stream that I like hearing from people that were helped. And they're like, I never ever chat. I never ever comment. But for this period of my life, you were instrumental in getting me through it. And some days you were like the one thing that was good. And it's like, that's what I mean. It's like, I have access to stuff like that, so it's easy to know that what I'm doing is worthwhile, but other people don't, right? So it's difficult. Booksmarts, tutoring pulled me out of a year plus long depression. Not going to do that for everyone, but if you like interfacing with people that way, it's the bomb. Yeah, if you're intelligent, if you're decent at communication, tutoring is a very fulfilling occupation, in my opinion. Also agree 1,000,000% about people having access to good education, especially tutoring and standardized tests. I bend over backwards as far as I can to meet people on this. Yeah. Yep. You think you'd ever have a shot at talking to V-Man again, or do you think the Doomer stuff put the kibosh on any future opportunities? He says that he doesn't want to, but we'll see. We'll see. I wouldn't bet on that. Do you know how to start to care? I don't know what you mean. How much of medical ethics have you explored? Did you focus more on logic or ethics in your schooling? When I first started helping nurses, they wanted me to take their ethics classes. And I took like 2 or 3. And then I was like, you guys need to take your own ethics class. This is fucking baloney. You guys have to learn this stuff. This is ridiculous. But for like anything to do with medicine was mostly doing their research assignments for them. So if you didn't know this, when you go into your last 2 years, like you do your first 2 years for nursing stuff, then you can do an additional 2 and it gives you extra qualifications and whatever. It looks better. It can get you better jobs. So in those last 2 years, they learn more about research writing than a MBA student would learn. It's ridiculous. What a difficult fucking workload you get as a nursing student in those last 2 years. I don't know if it was just the students that I encountered for both of these groups of people, for the MBA students and for the nursing students, but like nursing students had such a difficult fucking workload. It blew me away. Like, damn, this is still an undergrad and you guys are doing this much work? Holy fuck. I know people that are doing research degrees that don't do as much work as you guys are doing. This is crazy. Would you ever be interested in reviewing the argumentation in short video essays or something like that? Yeah, but it doesn't make money. I can't do it because it takes a lot of time. It doesn't make money. Oh, hello, Relly people. Hello. Who highlighted me? I missed it. I don't know. They're spamming my chat. Using essay work for relationships? Coomers. No, never. Never, ever, ever have I ever had sex with a client. Same with fans. Never, ever, ever have I ever had sex with a fan. Book, I imagine that is how doctors feel. Not being able to leave your job is very demanding. Yeah. You are wrong. Your opinions are bad. And I can't believe people listen to you. Wait. Is this DGG? No? All right. Probably still a loser. I hear it from a lot of people. Okay. Not as bad as Destiny, but and then Booksmarts realized he should make VODs sub only. Oh, maybe. Do you see any interest in restarting the homework section? No, too much work. Not interested. Do you have any advice about people who want to start tutoring? I have no idea how to. Look up how to tutor and follow a tutorial. Have professors ever noticed the difference between one of you and your client's previous essays and the one you wrote? Yes, but only like a handful of times, which is very few considering. And one of them, it was because I went in person to do the class and I got in a lot of trouble. We don't talk about that here. Let's not talk about that. Okay, let me catch up. Thank you, Relly people. Good to have you. How do you eat Skittles, bro? Very important question. Yeah, I saw it and I ignored it because I don't think it's an important question. I eat them out of the bag, bro. What should I be outraged about? You should be outraged about the divisive nature of people on Twitter, bro. About the divisive nature of people on Twitch and in the media. They're trying to get you to hate your fellow neighbor. They're trying to get you to hate the other person on the other side of the aisle. They're trying to get you to hate your mama, your daddy, your brother, and your sister, and that crazy uncle who believes in Jewish stuff. Yeah, they're trying to divide you from everybody, and I don't think we should let them do that. I think we need to be more understanding with other people in our lives, and we should encourage empathy and stuff like that. And yeah, if you ever had the opportunity, would you talk to Dr. K from Healthy Gamer about rhetoric online? Sure. I don't think he would be interested, but sure. The Skittles question, how do you eat them? I've already answered this. Fuck you guys in this Skittle question, dude. You're pissing me off. Not answering the Skittles question, kind of weird. Oh boy, now we have Relly people in this chat. I'll have to keep that in mind. What the fuck is this? What the fuck is this, dude? What is this? What the fuck? Why? Who would make this? For what reason have you done this? I don't understand. Oh my gosh. Thanks for the $20, Saiku. Sicko.
Roll what we should be outraged about.
I really do think we should be outraged about people trying to divide us up, but I just made the title as clickbait. Do you chew them or suck on them? Both. Both. When I first get them, when I first put them in my mouth, I like to suck on them because my mouth is still really, really wet and I start salivating and the taste is super duper fucking enticing. And I just chomp and I just start chewing and tearing and fucking shoving them into my mouth. So that's the procedure generally. Oh, that would make for a not so good clip. God, I hope my mom doesn't see that. My mom goes on Twitch all the time now, and she's always telling me about fucking clips that you guys post or fucking what the chat is saying. She's starting to copy your guys' memes that you use to make fun of me with. It's so ridiculous. It's so ridiculous. You guys are a bad influence on my mom, I swear to God. Book, did he call you out in person? That sounds like an amazing story. Yeah, but I don't want to talk about it, dude. He called me out at the final. And I had taken the class all semester. Fucking crazy. What's your favorite Skittle color? I'm colorblind, so I don't know if it's yellow or green. Do you chew them or suck them? I do both. Do you think Hassan has a nice body? I guess. He's not like, I don't know. I'm not like particularly into that, but I guess objectively speaking, sure. That's not true. I hate you for saying that. Well, you're going to hate me for a lot of stuff. Look fantastic in that shirt. Thanks, party people. Oh, no, I undid the top button. Sorry. I started to get sexy smarts there for a second. Fuck that. I'm on the warpath. We need to destroy the concept that individuals can be news sources through the lens of ideology. Well, good luck. Good luck, dumb fuck. That's the kind of belief that's going to lead you into a building with a stick of... Oh, I know. Hold on. I can't say that. That's Wicked Supreme. I was about to make a suicide bomber joke about Wicked Supreme. That dude works in government. You can't be making jokes like that. Oh, shit. Which type of color blindness do you have? I have protanopia. Nice self-report, dude. I have protanopia as well. Damn, you ain't got to talk more about it, but how'd the professor find out? I'm not giving you more answers, dude. I'm not giving you more answers. I can't. That dude works. Oh man, hold on. Booksmarts, hot zones. Be careful. This is secret. I can't talk about it. I can't say anything more about it. I'm skipping everything that's talking about shenanigans on that story about attending college for somebody else. Shenanigans. Did you see Dune, the movie about worms? No, because I live in Romania and I don't know if I can get it in English. Hey, Booksmarts, Mom, glad to see you have become a memer. Fasses das. Is she gonna cut this out and put it on the fridge? I never really thought. No, fuck. I never really thought about that. I mean, I know Libya's a hellhole, but, yeah, what happens to all those people on the boats? Fuck them, dude. They're fucking immigrants. Get a visa. Fucking denied. When did that happen? Did I really say that?
And why do you keep saying it?
That was pretty bad. That was pretty bad. I don't know if my mom would be very upset with that one, though. Joke's on you guys. She won't be disappointed for that kind of take.
Hey,
dude.
I appreciate you trying to be an antidote to the general brain rot of Twitch content creators.
Thanks. I'll keep at it, dude. I'll keep at it. Thank you for the sub. Just play the soundbite, no speak. I know, I don't have my stream deck here. You know what happened? Oh man, I'm so disappointed. When I had to wipe this computer to follow the steps that Asus gave me to fix it, which didn't work. Again, $3,000+ computer, fucking keys stopped working after months. They told me to reset the whole thing. I thought I backed everything up and was super thorough. I didn't save my fucking Streamlabs stuff, or my Stream Deck stuff, so I lost all of it. Hours and hours of work. So it's so bad. I made all my own GIFs and stuff. I lost all of it. Master of rhetoric. I think it's funny. If I'm trying to be funny, I think that's good rhetoric, dude. Actually, I'm doubling down. That's good rhetoric. That right there was good rhetoric. Most sane online right-winger. That's me, Booksmarts. The most sane right-winger. You guys don't hear what I say in private. You should ask your boy Relly I shouldn't even say boy, given what we're going to be saying here, but like, you should ask Relly about how close we come to some things in private, bro. Some things in private, dude, it gets heated. Going back to one of your older takes. Thanks for the $3. Let's hear what you have to say.
I just wanted to give you some money by have a fun stream.
Okay. Thanks for the $3, dude. I appreciate it. Going back to one of your older takes, okay, let's talk about it. Was the gun aimed at the director or the camera? And if the latter, did the bullet go through the camera? This had Shenanigans placed on it. So I'm not going to respond to you. If somebody wants to time you out, there is an open warrant for such people discussing such things. This is not a free country, this chat. So that's all I'll say about that. Not answering. RTBA is here. RTBA is a fan. I gotta say, RTBA, I know you guys hate him for whatever reasons. He rules with an iron fist. At first, I didn't understand that. But soon after opening my own Discord, I realized why RTBA has to rule with an iron fist. You people fucking suck to have to police. That's what it is. It's hard to police you people. All you respond to is like brute fucking force. So somebody's got to do it. God bless, dude. Our boys in blue. Just kidding. Our boys in red. RTBA. Yeah. So, RTBA and I get along fine. I like RTBA. Damn, the TTS is getting crazy. Yeah, it's Destiny's voice, dude. Do you think maximizing simplicity is important for essay writing? No. You shouldn't maximize it. No. I don't think that's the point. The point is to just get your point across. Like, more than anything, your point in essay writing is to follow the prompt and the rubric to get a good grade. Everything else comes secondary. So if the prompt says you must be as simple as possible, use as few words as possible, then sure, maximizing simplicity makes sense. If it doesn't, then probably not. Every time I essay write, every time I tutor people in essay writing, we always get back to that central point. What is the purpose? The purpose is to get a good grade. How do we get a good grade? We follow the prompt, we follow the rubric, right? So whatever that takes. I finally got you your first I'm proud of you, Noah, and you don't even remember saying it. Oh God, everyone is using the weird AI Dono voice now. Yep. They're doing a good job marketing that to people in the background. Book thinks refugees getting denied is funny. Feels bad, man. That was a performance. If you were Omega lolling in the chat, you're part of the problem, dude. That's all I'll say. You're part of the problem, not me. Let's see here. Shenanigans are permanent in chat. This is, I just bring them up with it. Shenanigans carry over streams. What the fuck? Yeah, maybe, dude. If you piss me off, I'm in a friend group with a mixed race kid. Okay, 2 black guys and a white guy. How'd they mix them into one kid? The things we say to each other would get us canceled. Okay. Thanks for sharing. Booksmarts, you should make a command that shows a list of Shenanigans topics. No, fuck you. It takes too long. I'm not doing it. It takes too fucking long. I'm not spending that amount of time on this. Amanda is Booksmarts RTBA. True. Very true, dude. Very true. You people just say DGGers at this point? No, bro. What about the 4 rules of gun safety? I don't think I ever made that a Shenanigans thing. Was the Shenanigans placed in a prior stream? There should be a warning on Shenanigans so people who don't know can learn. No, that's the fun part. You guys are like Farva in the other room. That, like, you guys miss out. That's part of the point. That's why I laugh at it. It's not just that I get to time you out. It's that people come in who didn't watch at the beginning and people trick them into saying something that gets them timed out. That's what I think is funny, that we punish people that don't know what the rule is. That somebody from the other room goes, hey, Farva, what's that place with the mozzarella sticks and all the goofy shit on the walls? You mean Shenanigans? Oh, that's what I like about it, is you guys are like Farva in the other room, except I actually beat you with the back of my pistol, dude. like, that's the part that I think is funny. So no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to make a command. I'm not going to do any of that shit. Where do you have Destiny locked up so he will read all of your donations? Well, he's small. It's not like he takes up that much space, dude. I got him right here. He's like a little ceramic boy on my desk. Where do you have Destiny? Okay, I already read that. My bad. Shenanigans is like dummy rounds and a gun. It was handed to us cold and we pulled the trigger and whoops, shenanigans. It's fine. During that clip, YouTube was advocating for apartheid against Twitch. We all go down together. Yikes. I'm back to let you know that you can't spell advertisement without semen between the tits. Yikes. Okay, well, thank you for that. You're high on mushrooms. Those are called baiters, and that is called a ban in DGG. Oh, no. None shall ignore the law. No, I'm not going to get people in trouble for baiting. Fuck that shit, dude. That's funny. Trial by fire, I see. I like it. Yeah. This is basically Squid Game 1984. Yeah. It's anti-capitalist and anti-fascist. Vosh would love it, dude. Vosh would love that shit. Oh, man. My voice, dude. What time is it? Oh, it's almost 7. That lady's going to be here soon to look at the bathroom. Oh, man. We've had such a fun little stream, haven't we? We've had a fun little stream. I think it's about time I find somewhere else to put you guys, though, for the day. I know we have a bunch of viewers, and I should probably work harder, but I just got here. Well, that's your fucking problem, isn't it? You need to turn on alerts. You need to enable them on Twitch, and you need to get here early, bro. Get in here early. Host Scardor? I don't know what the fuck a Scardor is, bro. Scardor. I don't know what that is. Sorry. So, bro. Who else is online? Adam Levine, Simsart, Ico, Geek. Wow, nobody's online right now, eh? What the fuck? Wait, is Mike on? Oh, let's raid into Central Committee. You guys like Central Committee, right? Listen to that. My voice. My voice is gone. My voice. I'm losing my voice. No, I thought really people like Central Committee. Don't you guys like Central Committee? Relly likes Central Committee. Oh my God, I'm losing my voice. I'm losing my voice. I gotta talk in soprano. We lost CC? Okay. All right, so we'll head over there then. That's... No, for real, where are we going? Can I raid you guys into an art stream or no? You guys want to go watch an art streamer that I like? I know Deepak, dude, but Deepak's boring. The Majority Report? No. I can't raid DGG. He's not live. Oh my God, my voice. It went out at just the right moment. It's not a Coomer stream, no. Let's go there. That'll be fun. I've never rated this person before. I think that's right. Thank you. I appreciate the sub. Oh my God, my voice is fucked. All right, here we go. I'll see you guys later. They're really cool. They do art. I recently followed him on Twitter. I think it'll be something new for you guys. Like Deepak always covers the same political shit, but this person does like really, really cute art. So I think you guys should go there. Enjoy. I'll talk to you guys later. I love you. I'll miss you. And I'll talk to you later. Have a good one. Bye. And to my YouTube people, my lovely, lovely YouTube people, I will talk to you all later. Have a good one. Like, comment, subscribe. We definitely could use more subscribers. It'll give you alerts when these videos come out. And yeah, it'll be good. Thank you for watching the VOD. If you watch the VODs, I do notice you guys. I do respect you guys. I know I say that like almost every stream, but like I feel like it's important to mention that to you guys. You made it all the way to the end. It was a shorter stream today. Hope you enjoyed it. And if you ever want to catch one of these and talk to me and ask me questions, I have my schedule and everything else posted on the Discord, !Discord, or go to the info about the channel or beneath this channel's video, and you should be able to get all the links for that. Have a good one, books. Yeah, good night. I'll talk to you guys later. Christ, it was clickbait. No, it wasn't. I made good on it. Anywho, Talk to you guys later. Bye.